Well, my name's Kim Beazley and I had polio in 1954 at the young age of 6. And there are bits and pieces of the events that I recognise or I remember. I remember not being able to move. I am in bed and then being carried out on a stretcher and to an ambulance, and there's a crowd of kids because in our street they didn't see ambulances. And then I was taken to Greylands Hospital, where evidently I was there for a few months, and I remember it with excitement because they put me in a khaki shirt and little khaki shorts, and I thought that was a terrific uniform. And I would, after a period of time, as I was obviously recovering, I would move around the hospital and chat to all the blokes who were there in iron lungs. Such courageous folk. They were never, obviously, going to get out of that, but they engaged me in conversation. I just remember them being very kind. I remember then Don Bradman sending my father a note because his son had contracted Post-Polio. So I was then given an exercise regime, which he had utilised for his son. Basically, the centrepiece of it was scrunching up towels with your toes to strengthen your feet. And so I was lucky. It obviously did have an effect on me. It took the edge off most of the things that I wanted to do athletically, but not badly enough to stop me from playing the games. I didn't really get a re-haunting of it, if you like, until I was ambassador in the United States. And I went down twice on black ice and snapped the patellar tendon behind both kneecaps. So I was in hospital, and after the operation, the orthopod came to talk to me and said, "There is something wrong with you." And I said to him, "Why do you say that?" And he said, "Well, I had a very hard job sewing you up." And I said, "Well, maybe it related to the fact that I had polio when I was a child." And he said, "Well, exactly that. Don't you ever snap those tendons again, because I doubt they will be repairable." So it was a re-haunting, a revisiting, if you like, of events 60 years prior to that. It was the terror of my parents. I do recollect my parents being deeply concerned because I suspect they deeply thought that I would not be as whole as I ultimately was. And as I grew older and met other polio victims, I came to understand how lucky I was. And now this plague is beginning a revisit. Now is a time for alertness. In our DNA, back in the early 1950s, we knew everything about polio and its possible effects. And we took it all as a community extremely seriously. That's gone. All that understanding has disappeared. So it's important that for conferences like this, that information base is reinserted in community memory. Thank you for having me with you.